Hey everyone, as always, thanks for stopping by the old gas powered bike channel. Today, I'm going to do a video that I don't believe I've ever touched on the topic, and that is used motorized bikes and or used bicycles to turn into a motorized bike. First, we'll start with the motorized bicycle complete. Say you looked on Craigslist or you got on Facebook or wherever it is you shop for items, trying to save a buck and get a motorized bike so you can get riding for whatever reason. On those, you have to be super careful because there are a lot of folks out there, it seems, that will ride their motorized bike until its last dying dog day and then sell it on a site or, like I said, Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace to make a few bucks off of it because they know it's on its last dying dog leg and they're just selling it, trying to get a little coupon to build their next bike. I find that a little shady of a practice. I would personally never do that to somebody. I kind of find that a little dishonest because a lot of people, man, might be having problems in their life right now, and 200 bucks is a whole lot of money. 150 bucks is a whole lot of money. But they're trying to get a little something going so they can get to work, get back on their feet, or whatever their case may be. And you, as a person, selling that bike to someone is kind of screwing them, in my opinion, because now that person goes home and the bike dies in 2 days or 3 trips. Now that person has no money and a paperweight of a bike. And that's about all it's worth after that. And you wouldn't appreciate someone doing that to you, so I think people should probably quit doing that. I've never done it, but that's my reasoning. But if you're going to buy a used one from someone, I'm not saying you can't buy one from your friend that you know it works or whatever, and hypothetically we'll say he got his driver's license back, don't need the bike anymore, going to sell it to you for, half of whatever, or whatever the price settled on is. And that one gives you a little more confidence, you know something about it. But just answering an ad and going by, and if they don't give you a demo of the bike running and it starts pretty reasonably easy, if the guy's got to pedal it up and down the block 2 or 3 times before it ever gets trying to start, that's probably a red flag. He's got a ton of miles on it, or he hasn't taken care of it, or she, or whatever the case may be. And yeah, they're trying to sell you a lemon. So just buyer beware in that. Just things to check out for, because if they're not going to demonstrate it, or my favorite phrase, when they're starting the sales pitch, it only needs. No one stops driving their car or walking 10 miles to work when it only needs, and it's a small need, but they don't do it. That's a red flag, because I've never met anybody in my life that has a car, functional car, driver's license, everything's ready to roll, but they're going to sell the car and walk to work because the tire needs air. Well, it only needs air in the tire. But I'll walk to work for 5 miles, 10 miles, because, yeah, I don't want to put air in the tire. But you get my way of thinking. If it only needs comes into the conversation and you don't know the person, or you're not 100% positive that that is all it needs, I would pretty much walk away from that bike. All right, that's enough about that. Moving on. Now, I personally sell new bicycles. I want someone to have all new parts and, at least a good start and a safe start as I can possibly provide. But every once in a while, and I've only done it about 3 times myself in probably 8 or plus years, pick a bicycle up at a garage sale. Sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes that bicycle can bite you just because it costs more to get it, tuned up. And right now we're not talking about engine kit. We're just talking about the plain old bicycle. This is one I picked up. It was in excellent shape. So this way I can provide someone a bike maybe a little cheaper than the new one, give them a decent piece of equipment to start with, and hopefully help them out. Work-wise, running around-wise, whatever the case there may be for that person. But anyway, if you're going to pick one up at a garage sale, I always suggest check the spokes, as long as they're tight and in great shape, not all beat and banged up. Give the wheel a spin. Granted, the bike won't be on a rack at a garage sale, but you can pick the front end up, give it a spin, make sure you don't hear any grinding and popping and whatnot. Same thing with the pedals and the crank. Make sure everything turns smooth. You don't feel any grinding and popping going on, to the best you can at a garage sale. Like I said, I know it's not on a rack at a garage sale. Now, when I picked this one up, I already had in mind that I have to put decent tires on it. I get a little better than stock tires, because if you're going to motorized bike it, that's between what you and the road. You want some decent tires on it so you don't get flats and what have you, etc. So I put heavy duty tubes in them, front and rear, and a couple extra ply tires on it to give that person a little durability and a little longevity. But sometimes you pick a used bike up, and by the time you have the rims straightened and the bearings fixed and put new tires on it, front and rear. Also, I put new brake shoes or pads, whatever you want to refer to them. I call them pads because they're more pad-like. But put some new brake shoes or pads on this particular bike. I want them to stop properly and safely. Same thing with the, like I said, with the tires. Where the rubber meets the road, that is massively important, especially in the super hot weather, because it's 90 degrees outside and you're sweating to death. Tires are rolling on 160 degree pavement. And a lot of folks don't think about it that way. But anyway, just beware. Do a little math in your head. If you're standing there and you're like, well, I got to get the back rim fixed, I got to get the front rim fixed, I got to put tires and tubes on it, I got to put brakes on it, this cable's messed up, and yep, do a little homework on it and shoot. A lot of times you're at a brand new bike price, or for $20 extra you could have saved up, went and got a brand new bike. Because if you got to rebuild the old bike that you picked up at the garage sale, then you're not really saving a ton of money. And like I said, I'm not against it. I'm not saying either way. I'm just saying, you know, buyer beware when you pick one up at a garage sale. Because sometimes, like this one, it worked out okay. And I'll be able to provide somebody this bike just a little bit cheaper than a brand new, right off the showroom floor, or straight from the factory, or however you want to refer to it, bicycle. I personally put a new kit on this one, so the bike is used, the equipment has been replaced, but the engine kit and all the accoutrements are brand new. I won't put a used engine on a bike unless I tell someone that's what they're going to do. But I just try to avoid that altogether, because it's a big hassle, and I want to make sure that whoever's buying whatever bike has a piece of quality to start out with, and maybe they can, you know, help out their life or whatever, because people ride them for different reasons. All right. Well, I just thought I would touch on that a little bit, because I don't believe I've ever, discussed a used bike or purchasing a used bike. All right. Well, if you get one, ride safe. Learn how to ride it in a parking lot or, you know, neighborhood with less traffic before you jet out there in traffic if you're new. Get comfortable with the operation. Okay, well, take care of yourselves out there. And, yep, as always, I got to move on to something else.